Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Another episode of Trash Talk. I'm Damian Hill. With me, as always, is TJ O'Connor. I hate him. Tonight we have JP, Too Much St. Louis. Too Much is also pronounced motherfucking from where I'm from. So JP, motherfucking St. Louis.
What's up, guys?
Trash Talk is brought to you again by Valhalla Combat Sports Incorporated, Ink Strings Tattoo out in New Brighton, Minnesota. Origin Wellness CBD out in Minneapolis, Minnesota, James Clark's Sports Psychology and Hypnosis Therapy, The Fighters, and TJ's mom. And I hope I said Spartan Martial Arts. How you doing tonight, JP?
I'm good, man. How are you guys?
Doing good. No complaints. Like I'm really appreciative of the fact that you were able to squeeze in your podcast and the interview with us the same night. I think it's pretty amazing that you have your own podcast too. Could you, I guess, give that a plug really quick before we start the interview?
All right, I got you. So, Spicy Ramen Podcast is something that was started by someone that I actually met through a Instagram group chat that knew. I don't know if he even knew my cousin, but my cousin added me in there, and it was just in group chat for people that like anime. And he ended up he brought up the idea of a podcast, and I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, I'd love to talk about anime. And so he got it started. So it's me, dude named Justin Love, and then Shaquille Harper Hernandez. I hope I said that right, Shaq. But you can just call him Shaq. So it's just us three. And here's the logo. It's actually going to be on my shorts.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's awesome. Spicy Ramen Podcast right there. And then we got Chris. He started with us. He's not doing it with us right now, but probably will come back. So really it's just I guess you would almost say it's like a bunch of black dudes that just love anime, and just a little spot for us to talk about it. So,
yeah. Well, I don't know if too many people outside the culture realize how big of an impact it actually did have, because all of my friends, we all watch some sort of anime. Either, I guess a lot of my friends are into Naruto. I never really got into that. I was more of a Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon. But but then there's like the more and more extreme and stuff. And I feel like Israel Adesanya is one of those guys that's up at the top of the sport right now, that attributes a lot of his inspiration to fighting behind the anime. Is that something that, I mean, I guess we talked on it the last interview, but is that something that ultimately got you more into MMA and competing as a fighter?
Yeah, for sure. I would say that the biggest thing that anime kind of inspired me with is just resolve and never giving up. Like, yo, you want to be the baddest motherfucker out there, it's like you're gonna have to train your ass off. And it's like you're gonna get beat up. You gotta look for people who are better than you, all that stuff. And it put that in my head, even though I didn't want to be a fighter at a young age. My thing was like, yo, I want to be a badass. It's like I'm not gonna go out and start shit with anybody, but it's like, yo, if you come at me, I'm fucking you up. And if your friends want something, they can get fucked up. And it's just kind of that mentality. And it's like, slap boxing and bathroom fights and stuff like that. It was always like, I would be scared, I'd be like, yo, I'm about to go in this bathroom and fight somebody. I might lose. But it's like, I'd also be like, I got to do it. It's like, it's just that mentality. I grew up on Dragon Ball Z. That was one of the first, like, the major animes that I got into that a lot of people watched. And then Yu Yu Hakusho. There's a character, Yusuke Urameshi, and he was like a street fighter. And I was like, yo, I want to be like that guy. Like, my parents are Haitian, so I wasn't allowed to be getting in trouble in school for fighting and stuff like that, picking fights. But it's like I did have like a little bit of hoodlum in me, I would say, where it's like, you said something to me, it's like, we're either going to fight or I'm going to disrespect the shit out of you and hope that you fight me. One of those things, it's like, we're not leaving here without something being said or done. And also, my parents kind of just raised me. They're like, don't go out starting trouble, but if somebody is looking to start something with you and they like put their hands on you, they hit you once, you hit them twice. That's what they would always tell me. So just that kind of stuff. And it's like a lot of different inspiration from anime. I just told them that the character that actually got me into Muay Thai was a character from a movie called Fatal Fury, but he was also in a series of video games from King of Fighters. which is not as well known as a Street Fighter, which is a Capcom. This is a SNK family, which is a little more popular outside of the U.S., I think. But his name was Joe Higashi. He was a professional Muay Thai fighter, and he was cool, chill, really funny, really goofy, but would beat your ass. And that's the type of stuff I always loved. I always loved characters that knew how to have a good time, laughing. People didn't take them seriously until they started throwing hands. So, yeah.
Man, you said two things that I want to touch on. The fact that I feel like your personalities and the character that you're talking about, like you guys actually kind of fit the same type of personality.
Yes.
And then the other thing, the way my mom always worded it when in the fight is like, don't start anything, but always finish it. Be the one to finish it.
Yeah.
And getting into the MMA career, I feel like you relate a lot to that character and to that saying what your parents said, don't start it, but if they hit you, hit them twice. And you've been able to get the finish quite a few times, and then going into this fight for LFA, I believe it's your fourth fight for LFA.
Mm-hmm.
When are they going to sign you to a multi-fight contract, man? Shit. Like, it seems like you're already doing it anyway.
I mean, I think it's just the way it works. I have my manager, Jeremy. He does some of the matchmaking for the show. So I think it's just, I'm not fighting for a belt or anything. They're just keeping me active. And it's like, hey, it's pretty much well known if they're going to Minnesota, I'm going to be on the card. Yeah. They might bring me to another place, but it's like we're going to have JP back in there. I think I'm pretty well liked out by, Mark Bieri and the LFA guys. It's like I come to show up. And it's like when I do come, I always show up. And it's like it was like that for my first LFA fight, which was in Sioux Falls. It was like 3-week notice. Had a tough guy out of Hard Knocks 365. He's out there killing it right now. It's like I like watching him fight, and I follow him. His name is Tyler Ray. Much respect to him. And it's like they brought me in to fight him. He definitely was the favorite guy. Ended up getting that win. It's just like I show up. It's like you don't have to worry about anything. It's like I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna make my weight. I'm going to fight my ass off. And then I'm going to give you guys a little bit something after with like dancing or a little bit of talking, whatever it is. It's like there's always something. People are always like, yo, what are you going to do after this one? I'm like, man, I don't know. It's like I have ideas, but it's like I'm worried about once I get my hand raised or get the ref to pull me off, then it all hits me. And that's why it's like you kind of just see that rambunctiousness and just like I go nuts when I'm after the fight. So.
Oh, 100%.
Hell yeah.
And you mentioned
before TJ goes, I just have to say one thing. Planned celebrations almost never work out, people. Yeah. And the best ones are always the ones that are improv. Like so.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I have an idea of what I may want to do, but it's like there's almost all of my celebrations I never did, or I forgot most of the things that I planned on doing. I just go with it. I'm like, whatever.
Yep, I've been there. I had like speeches planned and stuff, and then just like, yeah, thank you, and I'll fight anybody, and then. What the hell was that? No. Sorry, TJ. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Nah, I mean, yeah, you did. You did it on purpose, and that's why I hate you, and you threw me off. But I completely agree with the last point about just when you win, it's like one of those things where you just see white, and the guys just start screaming, and it's like, why is he screaming? There's nothing else to do right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's on autopilot.
It's just it's a big, just a lot of emotions. It's like, boom, it's done. It's like all these nights that I'm sitting here thinking, it's like, yo, this person's like, I'm about to fight someone. Like, what the hell am I doing? All the preparation, all the days where it's like I wake up sore. I work 11 to 7. So throughout, and I train 7 days a week with or without a fight. So I'm waking up at like 12:56, 1 o'clock after getting off at 7. And it's like, yo, I really don't feel like going in. And it's just like, I still get my ass up, go to the gym, 2 or 3 practices that day, and it's just like all that. And it's like when you finally get the ref pulled, I'm not even talking about the hand raise. It's like the most exciting is when the ref is like, all right, get off of him, and it's like 3, 2, 1, and I'm going nuts, and it's like I'm screaming, walking around, dancing, and it's authentic. It's like I don't feel the need to hold myself back. It's like fighting is raw. That's 100% raw. It's like what I gotta try to look a certain part or whatever. It's like whatever I feel, I do. Whatever I'm thinking, I say it. I mean, not that bad because there's certain things I'm thinking I don't say, but it's just I believe in always being yourself, and that's just what I do.
Yeah, I love that too because when you're always yourself, you can never throw anybody off. If you pretend to be somebody else like a John Jones and then you start to reveal who you actually are, it's like, what the hell? You were not the guy that I fell in love with, you know?
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
yeah, and when you can just get everybody to get to appreciate you and love you genuinely, I mean, I feel like those end up being the most diehard fans. And you spoke on it a little bit, how you're in the gym 7 days a week all the time. I just seen in a previous interview that you did that you got your purple belt and you've done over 300 and something only gi classes. Like, I mean, not including all your other grappling and everything like that.
Yeah.
Your opponent is, I guess he's 7-2 or 7-3 with all of 7 finishes being by submission. How do you feel you match up against him? Is that something that you knew going into this fight that made you more comfortable with taking it? Because, I mean, I guess you're no stuck on the ground either, sir.
To be honest, the funny thing is I didn't know that he had all 7 submissions. I knew he had like some. I definitely knew he had some, but the way I operate is, and some people might find this like stupid or crazy, whatever it is. It's like, it's me. It's like, it's all about me. And I've always kind of been like that as a kid. It's like, I've always been kind of selfish. Just, I'm thinking of myself. And it's like, I know what he can do and I respect his skills. But I was like, when he said he has 7 submissions, I was like, oh, damn. I was like, okay. I was like, that's impressive. But in my head, I'm like, he wasn't fighting me. And that's the way I look at all of it. And it's like, I mean, he's going to go out and try to do his thing. I'm going to try to go out there and do my thing. But I always feel it's like there's a difference between the people that like my opponents fight and then when they get me, because it's like, it's just I train with super good guys. And not just that, I think my determination and it's like how serious I am about it. I sacrificed a lot to just be out here. You know, I moved out here right before I turned 23. And it's like, that's pretty young. It's like I'm out here like having fun. It's like I can be with my family, but it's like I was like, nah, I'm moving almost 1,000 miles away. So it's like it's just that intensity that I bring in. I just always think that it's like I'm different. It's like, and I respect your skills, but it's like I'm still different. And never really.
Kind of adding to that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but kind of adding that. Like when I looked at the record and compared the two, I don't think he's faced a guy like you. You know, and you mentioned that before. Like all of his performances are against guys that are not you.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah. How do you feel like his jiu-jitsu is going to match up to yours? Do you think that? I mean, he's on paper, he's really comfortable on the ground. I've seen a few of his fights, but how big of a shock is it going to be for him when he thinks he's going to have a easy night on the ground for him?
I would hope he doesn't think he's going to have an easy night on the ground. You know, I mean, I hope he doesn't think he's going to have an easy night at all, because I'm not anticipating an easy night at all. It's like, I think this dude is tough. I always think that it's like I've had opponents where it's like, maybe he's not the greatest here, but he's got like, this guy's extremely tough, or he's got a chin. It's like, he's got some skill. And it's like, I feel like I fought a multitude of like different types or different styles of fighters. And it's like, I've just seen, I mean, my fights are a little bit shorter, but it's like, I have seen different styles. So, and on the ground, it's like, I'm aggressive as hell. I'm trying to elbow you. I'm trying to cut you. I'm trying to submit you. It's like, I'm switching back and forth from hitting you to submitting you. And it's just like that relentless, daunting, attacking pace where it's like, yo, this guy will not get the hell off of me. And it's like, I do jiu-jitsu tournaments to just like see different styles too and keep my stuff sharp. And it's like, I've had wrestlers, I've had like some IBJJF champions that I've gone up against. I've had super slick jiu-jitsu guys. And then I go with my training. It's like I have Mike Biggie Rhodes. I have Gerald Mearshart, who has like 30 submissions. I think Biggie might have more submissions than he has knockouts right now. And then I got like Bilal Muhammad, great grappler, Craig Eckelberg. I got Jordan Newman. I got Brendan Allen. And it's just all these guys, and then Daniel Wanderlei, our coach, and it's just that mentality, the level of people I have. I mean, Rafion Stotts, another dude. It's like he's smaller, but the dude is nasty, and he, like I always say, he's the big little guy. You know, he's strong enough to where he could actually grapple and out grapple a lot of big dudes, and I think that's something that people don't know. And like I'm always grappling. It's like a crap ton of grappling classes I do. So it's like if he thinks he's in for an easy night, then that means that he's sleeping on me. And you do that, it's like I will put you to sleep. It's like I don't let go of anything. It's like the ref has. I don't care if someone taps. That's how I. It's like I don't like who gives a shit. It's like cool. Ref pulls me off. So it's like if you tap, ref doesn't see it. There is no second chance. It's like I will never let go of anything until that hand grabs me. So, like I said, if he thinks it's gonna be easy,
especially if you fighting a guy who turns out to be like a Chael Sonnen, like Chael Sonnen when he tapped out the few times he looked at them, he's like, I didn't tap.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I refuse to have that happen to me. And it's like my dad was always would tell me, it's like in a serious situation, serious fight, it's like there is no second chance. He was like, sometimes you'll have to make that choice to kill him. So in my head, it's like I was raised on that. So I'm obviously I don't want to ever actually kill anybody in the ring. That's what the refs are for. But I'm like, I need to end this. And it's like, and if I don't end this, something is going to happen to me. So that's why it's like that finishing mentality. It's like, it's like, you ain't going to get no phantom tap with me. It's like, you're going to be seen tapping. And it's like, all right, can you I was like, I'll even be like, yo, he's asleep, but I'm not letting go. It's like, I have to wait till the ref is pulling me off. So that's just like my mentality for it.
Yeah, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, and not starting it, but definitely finishing it. And you mentioned just the mentality of the work in the room you're getting, and that definitely shows in your style. I mean, definitely a very fan-friendly style. This is gonna be your fourth fight in LFA now. Not looking past the fight, because obviously the fight is what's most important. But what does a win on Friday night do for JP St. Louis?
A win for me means that I'm gonna feel great about that double bacon cheeseburger with onion rings and French fries. And all the stuff I'm going to eat afterwards. I mean, but like in all seriousness, that just means that I once again proved that I can fight. I did it in a big promotion. I'm one of those people that I don't like to look past anything, because it's like, a lot of people have asked me, it's like, hey, what do you think is next? Do you think a big promotion is going to be calling you? Or I'm like, I don't know. And I really don't care, and it's like, obviously I do care. Everyone wants to get to the next level, but my whole thing is always, and I sound like a broken record saying it, but it's when you start looking to the future for everything, and it's like, and you're really not focusing on like the present and right now and the immediate future, I think people start to mess up. It's like, yo, I'm gonna get this shot and all this stuff, and it's like, no, you still have to get past this guy. And my whole thing is like, I'm in the gym every day. I'm training. I'm building my skills. After this fight, I'm going to be in the gym again. That's how I always am. I win a Friday night or a Saturday night, I'm in the gym the next day. It's like the last LFA fight, I was in the Dakota Fitness Center getting a workout in early in the morning. And it's just, I feel like if you're constantly dedicating time to perfecting your craft and being better mentally, being mentally strong, remembering your resolve, everything else will fall into place. It's like the belts, the big promotions, the big paydays, those will all come into place. So that's where I kind of keep my thinking on. It's like, yeah, sometimes I'll get like, what if I do? But I'm like, no, it's like, bring it right back, JP. It's like, plus my parents didn't raise me like that. They're always like, what's it like the eggs in your basket? Worry about those. So it's like, I'm worried about what's there, what I can touch right now, what I'm dealing with. And it's like, it will be great. It will be another win in the LFA that would make me 4-0. I don't know anybody right now who's 4-0, and if I get another finish, like 4 finishes in all 4 fights in the LFA, it's like that is I guess that would be a big deal. But I'm kind of one of those dudes. It's like I don't even pay attention sometimes. It's like I don't even know when there's an article with my name on it until like somebody tells me. It's like, hey, yo, did you see that you're in here? I'm like, oh, word. I'm like, okay, that's
Yeah.
it's like, damn, that's what's up. And it kind of like, like that Kawhi-esque thing. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm worried about myself, and I'm worried about he's worried about getting buckets. It's like, I want bodies, I want finishes, and
Yeah.
everything else will come. And it's like, and if I'm not tagged in it, then I probably won't see it.
Yep. Man, I love everything that you just said right there.
Yeah.
I mean, the mental preparation, the where you're at with your mind, and always being prepared inside the gym, always looking to get right back into work right after you're done handling business, looking to get ready to prepare to be better the next time. And I think we've seen all of that play out in your last few fights. I mean, man, you've just been doing everything the right way, I feel, and especially talking with you right now. How do you see, I guess there's not really, you can't really predict the fight. It's so, you can't, oh, I can tell the future. This is how it's going to
Yeah.
go down. But how do you feel it's going to go down? I mean, you've shown off some amazing striking, some amazing grappling. I mean, tons of finishes on the ground, very accomplished in jiu-jitsu. I mean, you could probably finish this fight however you wanted. But how do you see yourself getting it done on Friday night?
For some reason, I never see the knockout, because really those things just kind of happen. It's when you're least expecting it. Like my coach and my coach, obviously both coaches, Duke Rufus and Scott Cushman, and then also my teammates, Gerald and Biggie and Bilal, Craig, and all of them. It's like I'm one of those guys. Like sometimes I'll get caught up on trying to swing hard, and that's not when you get the knockout. It's always when you least expect it. It's like my first fight last year against Bobby Downs. I threw a right hand. I didn't even think it was that hard, and that's the one that dropped him and was able to set me up for the rear naked choke. And it's like I was just trying to hit him. That was the only thing. It's like I was short on the first one, and I saw that he was throwing I think a left straight, and it was a counter right. I slid on the inside, just barely grazed it, and hit him right over the top. And I thought it was like one of the lightest punches I ever threw. And my coach always tells me it's like when you learn how to hit, you don't actually have to throw everything in there to make it hurt. It's like your adrenaline takes over. You're wearing 4-ounce gloves. He would always be like, you're strong and you're fast and you hit hard naturally. You don't have to try to force it. So that's why I never say it's like I have no idea if I'm going to knock this guy out. Some people have tough noggins. I always think it's going to be a submission, because even as an amateur, it's like I would hit the person and they would move in and do something, and then I would catch the submission. Yeah. And that's how it always seemed to work. And like as of recently, I've been working on being more well-rounded and getting takedowns. So now it's like I can say, I might take this guy down and like beat him up. I always think if I take you down, get on top of you, even if you reverse me, I'll get back. It's like my top pressure is something that I really work on heavy. And it's like, I'm trying to smash your face through this canvas, man. And I'm not trying to let you back up. It's like, if I took you down, you're not getting back up unless I let you, and it's for a reason. It's like either I let you so I can snatch your neck or something like that. So, like I have no idea how this fight could go. I could say submission and then end up getting a knockout. People will be like, oh, you're going to knock this guy out, and then I submit him. Or it could just be a decision, but definitely know that I'm going to be trying to knock him the fuck out. I'm going to be trying to submit the shit out of him or cut him and have the doctors end it. So it's honestly up in the air. And I think it's one of those things where it's like, because I do train and I take being well-rounded so seriously, that I can say I have no idea how this fight might end. It's like I just know that I can end it anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's beautifully said. Training for the finish, and can't guarantee how it's going to happen, but you definitely working for it, and painted a beautiful picture of what to expect this Friday night at Mystic Lake Casino, LFA 82. Just before we wrap this one up, JP, want to give you an open platform just to thank any teammates, sponsors, anybody outside the gym that's been there for you this camp that deserves a special mention.
First and foremost, I usually always try to give a shout out to my parents, and even though they don't like me fighting, but I will go and say it's like they've always like supported in a sense where my dad always showed up to my fights. Any fight that he could make it to, he showed up, even though he hated it. He was the one person I had to, like, in order to fight, I had to fight with my parents. And it's like, it was a struggle in order to get in the cage. And, you know, I pissed them off real bad. But I also say it's like, they're the reason why I work hard. It's like, I learned what hard work is. And with them being Haitian immigrants, it's like, look, I'm a first generation American and I have to make something of myself. Like my mom would always say that I didn't come to this country, work these like shitty jobs, white people's ass, have people disrespect me and all that stuff for you not to be successful. It's like my dad, when I was growing up, some points he had like 2 jobs. I didn't get to see my dad all the time during the day because he would go from one job or he had school or another job. And it's like, I was with my cousins and my grandmas a lot. So I always say it's like big shout out to my family. They motivate me. You know, one of the things that I don't ever try to motivate anybody, but within my family, it's like I would always hope that they can look up to like me and my work ethic the same way I looked up to like my uncles or my aunts or my parents or my big cousins, like their parents. It's like, hey, you guys looking up to me. It's like I looked up to them. They showed me a lot of things. So I always want to give them a shout out. It's like I'm not really a religious person. So it's like a lot of people, you know, say first and foremost, I like to thank God. It's like my thing is I like to thank my parents and my family. And it's like without them, I wouldn't be anything. Without my dad being such a hard ass on me, I do think that I would be a fuck up. I don't think I'd be a horrible person, but I know my attitude and he knew my attitude and he kind of just like nipped that one early and was just on me. So it's like my mom too. She was hard on me. They gave me a lot of tough love. So big shout out to them. My teammates, my roommate, Mike Biggie Rhodes, always helping me out, making fun of me or whatever. And it's like making fun of me, telling me I need to do something better, always helping me. Gerald too, they roast me a lot, but they also give me, it's always constructive criticism. And so I always appreciate that. Bilal Muhammad, Craig Eckelberg, you know, Brendan Allen being one of the teammates pushing me, Jordan Newman, Rafion Stein. If I could go and give a shout out to like everybody, I really would that I train with. So the coaches, you know, my girlfriend, she helps out a lot. She even, you know, you're always gonna fight with your girlfriend. You're always gonna whatever. But it's like she really does hold it down for me. There's been times where it's like one fight I had a horrible weight cut. I'm like cutting weight in the bathroom. She's sitting there in there with me. Like just like watching, we're watching anime together, and it's like I think Biggie took a picture of it, and it was just like she was like sitting on the side. I'm like dying in the tub, and we had the laptop up watching My Hero. So shout out to her, you know, my friends, and you know everybody that supports. It's like I didn't really ever think that many people supported me because, like I said, I don't really think outside of what I'm doing, but like with people like. A lot of people bought my shirts and a lot of people like from the beginning just kind of like supported it. I don't know what the hell they saw. And I was just like, you know, you guys could have just been like, oh, he's fighting MMA. He sucks. But it's like a lot of people that I like know they actually support it. If I win, they say something. If I lose, they send me messages of encouragement. They're checking on me. And it's like, it's weird to me because I'm like, yo, why do you guys even support me? But I just want everyone to know it's like I appreciate it. All my teammates, they've always been great to me and my coaches. So, yeah. And shout out to like guys like you guys, you know, giving me a chance to go and speak and actually enjoying speaking to me. That's so it's like I've learned over like as I've gotten older to just appreciate everything. It's like appreciate the moments you get, appreciate every part of it. One day it won't be there. So
yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I feel like I'm living in the moment and I enjoy this is what I love to do, dude. I feel like I'm living the dream right now, you know, talking to fighters every single day, especially ones as fun as yourself, man. And I just got to say this before we do wrap this up tonight because I know TJ was about to say something. Man, I really respect your dad and your parents, man. I mean, wow, your dad seems like an amazing person. Same with your mom. Man, if I ever had the chance to talk with them, I would definitely take that opportunity, man. I mean, fuck, I think they did an excellent job with you.
I appreciate that, and you know, being from a Haitian family, it's like it's always you better not like everything you do reflects on me, and they're big on that, and it's just like I feel like for them that's probably like the biggest compliment, and
Yeah.
I always want to honor my parents, like no matter what. I could go on like for hours talking about how much I love my parents, my family, and all that stuff. Kind of like Khabib. He's like, you want me to talk about my dad? I'll talk about my dad. And it's like I could just go on, and some people might think it's corny, but if they do think it's corny, fuck them. It's like
For real.
it is what it is. It's like I love my family. Sorry. I miss them all the time, which is why I train so hard. It's like I see my parents sometimes and my little sister, like twice a year sometimes. And it's just stuff like that. It's like my grandma, she passed in October. So it's like I didn't get to see her all too much. I got to visit her before my fight, but I had the fight. So had to go and handle that. So it's just things like that. It's like I miss out on so much. I grew up with my family, and I'm a family-oriented person, but I'm also a lone wolf in a sense where it's like I can just get up and leave and do what I have to do. So wanted to give him a shout out. Also, I would like to give my best friends from Virginia a shout out. You guys know who you are. Robbie, Sarah, Travis, Cody, Garrick, DeLindsey, all of them, even Chris Verdon, Joe Pollard. I could go on and list a lot, but it's like they were going to my fights when nobody gave a shit. And it's like they were rooting me on, and they've been supporting since the jump. Chris Morton, I almost forgot him. Actually, I might have said, I don't know. I always like to say their
Shout out
last
twice.
name so I remember, but it's like, y'all know who it is. It's like I've posted pictures with them and all that stuff, and I just always want everyone to know, like, the people in my circle get love, and that's just the type of guy I am.
No, that's great, and like I said, it comes across so blatantly through the interview how family oriented you are, and like Damien said, your parents definitely did a great job. So really do appreciate taking the time to talk with us, JP. I mean, without the fighters, Damien and I are just two idiots talking into the camera. So we really do appreciate you, fans. Be sure to check out JP St. Louis this Friday night at Mystic Lake Casino, LFA 82. Be sure to subscribe with Trash Talk with Damien and TJ. And most importantly, don't be a hoe.